Hiyo ndio shida yetu, tunasema watu yetu tokeni huko ngangania vile wote wanasema Musalia Mudavadi asema hii namba 3. Wetangula asema hii namba 3. So which is which?
Yes, of late, the governor of Trans Nzoia, Governor NATEMBEYA, has made it a habit of abusing Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula. We all know the Western region takes Moses Wetangula and Musalia Mudavadi as their kingpins. And they are the most senior leaders in Western Kenya. In fact, they are viewed as a beacon of hope when it comes to the Western politics. But of late, a novice in politics, Governor NATEMBEYA, has made it a habit of abusing these two leaders, thinking or trying to take away the leadership from them. And in this episode, I've come to point out the truth and lies within the abuses of Governor NATEMBEYA, how these things can affect his political career or how they can make him advance politically, but most importantly, the study materials we can learn from the politics of Kenya. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula, I think they have been in the Kenyan politics for the longest period of time. Mudavadi was once a vice president during Moi's era. Many people don't remember that. And by the virtue of having a lot of experience in the Kenyan politics, it puts them at a pedestal in the region. Governor NATEMBEYA has always come out to attack Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula, telling them on how they have failed to advance the Western agenda. And in this episode, I've come to dissect this. But before I do this, I want to first give you the tape when Governor NATEMBEYA was making these statements. Here's the tape.
President Ruto akiingia kwa siasa, akikuwa high school, Mudavadi alikuwa minister. High school, akikuwa high school, Musalia Mudavadi alikuwa waziri katika serikali ya Mzee Moi. Miaka imeenda mpaka saa hizi tena Ruto ambaye alikuwa high school ameandika Mudavadi waziri. Hiyo ndio shida yetu, tunasema watu yetu tokeni huko ngangania vile wote wanasema Musalia Mudavadi asema hii namba 3. Wetangula asema hii namba 3. So which is which? Tumesema tawe. Hiyo ndio tawe, tutakataa tumesema tawe.
That is Governor NATEMBEYA. First of all, Governor NATEMBEYA is pointing out some right things. That indeed the leadership of Western Kenya has failed the region. Because you cannot tell me that the second biggest region does not have a lot of influence in the way our politics is done. When you look at the president, William Ruto comes from, I think, the third biggest region. Okay? Yet the second biggest region does not have what to say in the Kenyan politics. In fact, if it weren't Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula joining hands with William Ruto, I think they would even be in the opposition. But a tick must be given where it's due. By Musalia Mudavadi joining Ruto, they somehow put the Western in government. Because Kenya is made of tribal sentiments. If there is, in the top seats, there is no a person from your community, it somehow jitters the community. So by Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula being in those positions, it's kind of a plus for the region. One, by NATEMBEYA coming out to attack these two leaders, it has two things. One, if NATEMBEYA is scheming to inherit the leadership of the Western, then he is doing it wrongly, because there is no any person who has ever inherited the support of a region by abusing the incumbent leader. And I'm going to give you an example. In Mountain Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta was in the opposition when Kibaki is in government. We didn't hear Uhuru Kenyatta abusing Kibaki. In fact, he even joined the government because he knew there was going to be a void which he was going to fill, and he filled it. Raila Amolo Odinga never abused his father when he wanted to occupy office. In fact, he fought hard, okay, until he got the support from Nyanza. The same when Michael Kijana Wamalwa went. These two people never abused Michael Kijana Wamalwa. They gave him respect, Akina Wetangula and Mudavadi, until they ascended to that position. I can mention very many things. Even in the midst of Rigathi Gachagua trying to inherit Uhuru Kenyatta, he ceased abusing him. In fact, in very many instances, he has come out to say that he is trying to mend relations with Uhuru Kenyatta because you don't abuse the incumbent. So, the same to Kalonzo Musyoka. When he wanted to inherit the support of Charity Ngilu, he never abused Charity Ngilu. He just built his political base until it was reality. So if Natembeya thinks that he's going to abuse Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula to inherit their support base, he's lying. That is a great mistake. Secondly, if indeed Natembeya is a man and he wants to inherit the support, one, he should make a political party and run the second term as governor in his political party. If he's able to sail through to victory, he will be a man on his own. Because that is the test of each and every person who has wanted to inherit the support of a region. That is the truth. He must do that. And if he fails, that means he would have made a mistake. Secondly, on whether who is number 3 after Gachagua, the truth is Wetangula is a smart man and Mudavadi is an ambitious man. In fact, if Wetangula was as ambitious as Mudavadi, he would even excel through to becoming the president. Because Wetangula knew that in the Kenyan constitution, the Speaker of Parliament is the 3rd. In fact, if there is a void in the executive, Wetangula can become president and not Mudavadi. And Mudavadi was not smart to that extent. He wanted to be the Prime Cabinet Secretary, a position which is not anchored in the Constitution. Because a Prime Cabinet Secretary is like any other CS. In fact, at first, he never had even any duties until William Ruto spelled out duties for him to do. So, if we are following the Constitution, Wetangula is far ahead of Musalia Mudavadi. Secondly, I don't think that these two leaders will have a chance of one of them becoming presidents, based on the circumstance. Because right now, Wetangula is 67. After the 10 years of William Ruto, he will be something like 77 or something, or 75. Mudavadi is like 63. After William Ruto, he will be like 70 something. So, one, they will be too old. Two, there is a deputy president in Rigathi Gachagua who has a strong community, the richest community, a community which knows politics. So it will be very hard for them to beat Rigathi Gachagua. Secondly, I don't think that Rigathi Gachagua can pick among them one to be deputy president, because history has shown us that every time a Kikuyu and a Kalenjin combine forces, they win an election. So in most of the circumstances, we are going to see in the near future, if they are all alive, Gachagua picking a person from the Rift Valley. So they will render them useless. And remember, those two candidates cannot be voted in other communities. That's the truth. A person like Mudavadi, even in his own county, his own MP is ODM. So such a person does not have influence even in his own area. So a person who doesn't have influence even in his own area, you cannot take him to another community to be voted for. That is the truth. Then if you see Wetangula can be voted for in Bungoma. That's why I'm telling you, if Wetangula had ambitions, maybe he would have a chance to the presidency, but he doesn't have such ambitions of yet. And yet, he comes from the majority of the Luyas, because even Luyas are subdivided into smaller units, and Mudavadi comes from the minority. I think that is the biggest problem with Mudavadi. So I see leaders from the Western region trying to fight Mudavadi and Wetangula so that they can emerge as new leaders. But the technique they are using is a technique for self-destruction. Of course, that's my opinion. Do drop me your comments by commenting about this. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, I implore you to subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I will see you on another one. Peace.